ini bukan ribut. Kursus drone menyediakan anak anda untuk alam pekerjaan sekarang dan pada masa hadapan. Hanya di SG Academy. Layari www.drone.edu.my.
Hi, my name is Faiz. I'm from Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. So I attended this drone training.
This program allows me to have a good understanding and the technical skill to do the drone shootings, so which will very help in my video productions.
It's a very good course for me, very good exposure on reskilling myself into a drone industry.
I was very happy with the groundwork. It taught me a lot of how things are. It's not as easy how people think it is. Drone is very complicated, and they managed to actually make us understand and learn practically of how drone works just within 2 days, and that is very, 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 very good.
So thank you very much, Asia Drones, for giving me this grants, this opportunity to participate in this drone operations provision program. Thank you very much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, my name is Faris Hazmi bin Zulhaimi. I'm from Selangor and I'm be represent the Malaysia Future Leader School participant. So what I learned here, first of all, when we all talk about drones, all I think about was just the one that we use for hobby and the one that we use to take some pictures or videos.
What is actually drone giving benefits to others is drone can be used in agriculture, construction, and also in our daily life.
My ambition is to be a lecturer, and after this program I would consider taking a drone course to increase my skill set, because I know drones in the future will be the way of life and will aid our community more greatly.
Now I already know that drones also can save people, can do a lot of things. So again, I would like to thanks to the SG Academy for giving us this opportunity, and also kabek sayang kita.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat berjumpa lagi dalam sesi live Facebook Asia Drone. Ini adalah kali yang saya rasa kalau tak silap saya kali yang ketiga kami bersiaran secara langsung live on Asia Drone Facebook. So basically kepada semua viewer yang di luar sana yang pernah follow Asia Drone sebelum ni, first session kita pernah cerita pasal drone tech carrier pathway untuk pelajar lepasan SPM, and then kita ada juga untuk next punya tu kita ada buat sesi dengan drone industry player. Kita bersama dengan Hendek dan kita bersama juga dengan CEO MALVUS Sense, Dr. Syed Omar, and then seorang lagi pakar industri daripada Australia, Benjamin, untuk berbicara berkenaan pasal drone economy. So kepada viewers yang di luar sana yang terlepas kita sesi sebelum ni, boleh check kita punya Facebook page, kita punya posting sebelum ni lah. So hari ni kita ada 3 orang panelis. Saya Muhammad Syafiq akan menjadi moderator anda pada hari ini. So kita punya tajuk kita adalah drones and big data. So kepada viewers yang di luar sana, kalau nak tahu kata apa, drones ni dia bukan setakat limited penggunaan dia kepada kata apa just pengambilan gambar dan video. This is where that kata apa, actually there are more to data itself. Banyak lagi benda yang boleh diproses daripada drone punya data lah. So bersama dengan saya kita ada 3 orang panelis. Nanti kita akan minta lah mereka untuk memperkenalkan diri little bit pasal background experience mereka dalam pengalaman dalam industri, and then nanti cerita jugalah apa company mereka buat dalam bidang drone. So yang pertama saya perkenalkan Encik Zarul Ikhwan Rusli. So dia bersama dengan Asia Drone. Encik Zarul boleh lambai dengar. Okay. Right. And then yang seterusnya kita ada Amsyah daripada OFO Tech. Alright. Dan last but not least Nurul Husna daripada MALVUS Sense. Right. Basically Zarul adalah kita punya drone engineer dekat Asia Drone IoT Technologies. Amsyah adalah Business Development Director di OFO Tech, and then Husna adalah Data Manager di MALVUS Sense. Okay, pada viewers yang baru join kita, ini adalah sesi kita punya live. Tajuk dia adalah Drones and Big Data. Kalau ada sebarang komen ataupun sebarang soalan yang nak ditanya kepada panelis kita, boleh drop komen nanti dekat kita punya Facebook ni. Nanti kita akan pass kepada kita punya panelis kita lah. So untuk permulaan saya mempersilakan kita start dengan Zarul dululah. So mungkin kita punya panelis yang Amsyah dengan Husna mungkin dia tak ada baru lagi dengan live ni, so mungkin nak bagi dia break the ice sikit. So kita minta Zarul untuk mungkin boleh perkenalkan diri, and then bagi tahu dekat audience di luar sana about your experience in the drone industry and what is actually Asia Drone doing in the drone market.
Hai, Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang. Saya Zarul daripada Asia Drone Teknologi. Pelibatan saya dalam drone dah ada lebih kurang dalam 6-7 tahun macam tu lebih kurang. Saya lebih kepada permulaan saya lebih kepada hobi, dan sekarang dia jadi kerjaya saya lah dalam bidang drone. Untuk apa tu Asia Drone Teknologi, kita ialah satu company yang menyediakan latihan, memberikan info kepada masyarakat, kepada pelajar, kepada komuniti tentang drone actually. Macam tu lah.
Okay, so penerangan yang agak ringkas daripada Zarul. So siapa yang nak kenal Zarul lebih lanjut boleh check kita punya first live session. Dia ada bincangkan pasal dia punya, kata dia ada cerita lah lebih lanjut pasal dia punya experience. So hari ni dia keep it short and simple. And kita akan bergerak kepada Amsyah. So mungkin Amsyah boleh perkenalkan diri dan introduce yourself a bit.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum. Saya Amsyah, Business Development Director from OFO Tech. So basically our company has been around for 4 years. So kita punya specialization is more on project monitoring and asset management using drones But as Shafiq has mentioned, that's just one component of the entire spectrum of high impact technology yang kita also incorporate, such as AI. Kita also incorporate big data, augmented reality for a more robust end-to-end solution lah for our clients, in which we apply aplikasinya across sector lah, from construction, oil and gas, agriculture, and yeah, I would be quite excited nanti nak share lebih mendalam.
Alright, thank you for the introduction. So tadi Amsyah dia mention pasal ada a few terms lah, mungkin audience kita nanti dia kena, tadi yang dia mention pasal AI, augmented reality, and then big data. So nanti Amsyah akan terangkan lebih lanjut lah berkenaan dengan semua all this kind of item. So kita bergerak kepada Husna. Husna mungkin boleh kenalkan diri dan
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm hoping we can have fun during this sharing session. Okay, I'm Husna. As mentioned previously, I'm acting as data manager for MALVUS Sense. I have about 3 years experience in GIS, IT, and aviation industry. I'm kind of new in this industry, but I'm learning, and hopefully I can share with you guys later a little bit about my experience and my knowledge in this industry. Okay, a little bit about my background of MALVUS Sense. This company founded in 2016, but actually we have started previously since 2012, 2013. We start doing research first in this industry in area mapping, and then we officially established a company in 2016. We are a small company, I guess, about 50 to 60 manpower. Our company specializes in area mapping and also patrolling. Currently, we're working with LiDAR, sensor, photogrammetry, and also video patrolling. Company MALVUS provide complete service from data collections to the final data until the data analysis. We can say that MALVUS is a competitive company in this drones industry. Thank you.
Right, thank you for the very comprehensive introduction. MALVUS Sense, even though the number of staff around 50 to 60 people, but they are, considering one of the major drone players together with OFO. Because normally the drone company in Malaysia, number of staff tak ramai sangat lah. Maybe less than 10. So but then when it comes to the drone company that have like more than 40 to 50 people, we consider them as a major drone players in the industry. So dekat saya, hari ni kita bawa MALVUS dengan OFO. So they have been giving a bit of introduction about their companies, and then now we are moving into the so when it comes to the drones and the big data, if I can share a little bit on the basically to the viewers out there, basically drones ni, if we refer to the workflow ataupun the element workflow dia, one second, let me share the screen so that ada audience boleh faham lebih lanjut lah. So in the drone industry, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, 20% ataupun half of it adalah, not half of it, 1/5, basically just actually acquiring data. This actually require people to using drone and then to collect data. The rest of it, kalau kita tengok sini, 80%, about 80% of it is actually involved on the data itself. Data processing, data visualization, and then putting on the cloud platform and so forth. So this is where that MALVUS and OFO strength lies on the whole platform, from the acquiring data and also on the data processing itself. So to give, to start with, basically I would like to ask the panelists, what are the application in the drone industry that using, basically what application dalam industri yang menggunakan drone. So for example in the construction, in the telco, what kind of like data that you gather from there, and then what kind of like things that can be the application from it lah. So let's start with OFO first, Amsha. So maybe you can say.
So thank you, Shafiq. So basically, for drone application in the infra side, let's say construction, specifically what one would immediately think of is project monitoring services. So project monitoring, whether we are talking about the construction of bridges, the construction of ports or buildings whatsoever, it requires a certain timeline that needs to be complied with in terms of dia punya both timeline and the cost of the project development in itself. So the drone and other arrays of technology such as AI, that comes in handy untuk the project managers to leverage to actually be up to date with the information and data on site. Contrary to the conventional method lah. For example, when it comes to design and planning for the construction industry, one would utilize helicopters as the conventional method. Tapi as we know, this is not very cost effective. So drones proves to be a very disruptive technology in which can execute the similar function in a much more cost effective manner. So other forms of application, we can think of, let's say AI lah, artificial intelligence, for operation and maintenance pula. Contohnya, let's say we want to automate the entire process of asset maintenance, let's say defects. We're talking about cracks, we're talking about potholes, we're talking about railway guard yang rosak. So any type of defects ni, we can have drones or even the camera inbuilt with AI to actually execute that function, to monitor sama ada the highway is in good condition, so on and so forth. But the application for now is just limited to our creativity lah. I would like to emphasize that we are still currently looking at new areas or growth opportunities where we can apply the drone system or the drone powered solution lah. We're talking about all the other big data, augmented reality system into one robust end-to-end solution. And another thing, aside from project monitoring, we can also move into asset management. So asset management for telco tower or oil and gas, this is something where asset owners would need to monitor the condition or inspect the condition of their asset for oil and gas, for example. They do not want to have operational downtime. So instead of closing down, shutting down the operation, they can use something like a drone to actually view or monitor the particular condition of asset without infringing their existing operation. So in a seamless manner lah. So that is something that we can see emerging technology such as drone is very disruptive. The application is very versatile in that regards.
Alright. Thank you for your insight. Very informative insight. So basically you speak about on the construction side, on the project management, and also you touch on the oil and gas. So maybe Usna, you have something to say because I understand from Dr. Said that you guys did a lot of on the slope monitoring project with JKR and also on the oil and gas part also. Maybe if you want to talk a bit about on that kind of aspect, what kind of application?
Yes, thank you. Currently, we're working on two main projects, which is for pipeline monitoring and also for the slope risk assessments. We use drone technology to capture the data for the data acquisitions. We use both technology, either LiDAR and also for using photogrammetry sensor.
Alright, so
this is type. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of application? For example, just now Amsha mentioned about the project management. So how does on the slope monitoring, basically bila kita pakai drone and then kita collect data and then how we actually give impact to the engineer yang currently rely on the conventional punya method. Sebab kalau kalau conventional methods, basically they have to walk from one place to another place and then using drone. So maybe Usna can elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, regarding the data, the drone technology, we using as you mentioned, we using the latest technology for the data collections. I believe we using drone technology and we integrate with new technology, with various type of technology, which is LiDAR and also photogrammetry. We attach, integrate drone and LiDAR sensor to collect the data collections. And as we know that LiDAR is a well-known sensor and also is a well-known application in Malaysia. So we MALVUS here, we collect the data collections using LiDAR data collections.
Alright.
And
Okay, Ustaz ada mention pasal LiDAR. What is LiDAR actually?
LiDAR is actually like ranging data collection. Okay.
So I believe LiDAR is one of the sensor, right, to collect data.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Alright, can. Boleh.
Okay, minta maaf. Macam lagging pula.
Oh, lagging Alright, tak apa. So soalan saya tadi, sebab Ustaz ada mention pasal LiDAR. So I believe audience dekat luar sana, diorang tak familiar dengan term LiDAR ni. Yang familiar dengan term LiDAR ni mungkin Zarul dengan Amsyah dia pernah dengar lah LiDAR. So macam orang dekat luar sana, the audience out there, they don't understand what is LiDAR. So how different LiDAR dengan let's say kalau drone ada camera there, how different it is with the normal camera that attached to the drone?
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let me start again. Okay, let me rephrase it again. Okay, actually our aim here in MALVUS, right? Actually, we try to introduce latest technology in Malaysia industry. That's what I believe my aim in MALVUS aim to introduce latest technology to the Malaysia industry. So we try to explore and utilize the technology. So one of the latest technology is LiDAR, which is a sensor that we use to measure distance between objects. It is a really reliable type of reliable sensor to detect elevations, to get terrain elevations. It's better than photogrammetry actually. That's one of the, I think that's one of advantage of MALVUS, I believe, because we use latest technology for data acquisitions. Besides that, we have our UAV. Our UAV is using VTOL system, which is one of the latest technology. We integrate drone and sensor, LiDAR sensor to collect the data collections, mostly for our pipeline monitoring, for data collection, for mapping, area mappings.
Okay, noted. So to all the audience out there, saya rasa Ustaz ada mention a few terms that you might new to the term, for example like LiDAR, and then just now she mentioned about VTOL. So basically maybe nanti kita akan minta mungkin Zarul untuk explain apa itu VTOL dengan LiDAR a little bit. But Zarul, okay, now it's your turn. So tadi Amsyah ada mention pasal construction, oil and gas, Usna pun ada mention pasal slope monitoring and pipeline monitoring. How about in the other part of in the another industry, for example like agriculture, macam mana data dalam agriculture Isa?
Okay, kebelakangan ni kita memang bercerita pasal drone ni, dia banyak sangat perkara dia kan, sebab banyak benda yang masih kita nak venture. Antaranya agriculture. Biasa dia paling last lah, pasal yang guna dia biasa orang tak berapa teknikal kan. Jadi bila sebut agriculture, dia bermula dengan mapping. Orang gunakan drone untuk buat mapping. Lepas tu dia pergi kepada, dia orang ada satu terms keluar panggil satu drone, nama dia agriculture drone. Drone ni ialah sebenarnya pump air yang terbang. Kan? Dia ada bawa 4 nozzle atau 8 nozzle. So sekarang benda ni tengah macam hype. In fact kita pernah guna benda ni masa awal-awal PKP dulu untuk sembuh sanitizer atas jalan. Sebab dia cuma macam tunjukkan macam mana keberkesanan satu teknologi lah, tapi dia tak apa-apa berfungsi sangat lah. So agriculture drone ni sekarang ni memang tengah banyak digunakan dekat lebih-lebih lagi sebelah Kedah untuk penyemburan pesticide baja ke atas sawah. Itu adalah contoh satu drone dalam agriculture. Yang kedua dia ialah mapping lah. Biasanya kita akan terbang untuk dapatkan gambaran tentang keluasan tanah ataupun tahap kesihatan satu-satu tanaman, dan dia menggunakan pelbagai teknologi lagi yang lain, contoh macam kamera thermal ataupun NDVI kamera dan yang seterusnya lah. Okay.
Satu lagi term yang agak baru di situ. Ada dengar thermal camera, ada NDVI camera. So kalau dekat audience yang baru dengar istilah ni, NDVI tu sebenarnya adalah multi-spectral camera, di mana kamera basically kalau normal camera kita boleh detect dalam 3 color. Red, green, blue. Kita panggil dia RGB lah, red, green, blue. Jadi kalau multi-spectral ni dia boleh detect 5 ke 6 gambar. Kalau ada satu lagi kamera tu dia panggil dia hyperspectral. Hyperspectral ni dia boleh detect sampai beratus color lah. So setiap color, warna. So based on that warna baru kita boleh detect, baru kita tahu dia punya plant health lah. Okay, so saya terima kasih atas penerangan tadi. Thank you for ni. So this question goes to Amsha and Husna. So I leave it to you guys. Siapa nak jawab dulu? So basically the question is, so we are using drone to collect data. So how important, berapa penting data yang kita collect daripada drone tu? Is it sebab di luar sana, I mean generally publicly people are thinking like pakai drone untuk ambil gambar, ambil video. So they don't see what are the importance of that kind of like data that they collect. In fact sebenarnya even from photo itself pun ada kepentingan dia tersendiri, ataupun video tersendiri ada kepentingan dia sendiri. So maybe kita start dengan Amsha. How important this kind of like data that you collect from the drone itself?
Thank you, Shafiq, for the question. So at the end of the day, the drone is just a flying object. So we have to understand that we are gradually moving into becoming more of a data company. So when we talk about data, if it's inaccurate, it's pretty much useless. So this is why we need to on such accuracy and precision. If I may share the screen, I would like to show a particular video on our current involvement. Boleh nampak?
Tak nampak ke?
Boleh nampak?
Rasanya ada masalah dengan share screen ni. Saya tak. Okay.
Can you see the video?
Video tak ada. Amsha kena share video, Amsha. Jangan share. Pilih option untuk share video.
Right, yeah.
Pilih option untuk share video.
Share.
Tak berjaya di situ.
Berjaya di situ je.
Okay, mungkin sementara kita tunggu Amsha dia mencari jalan apa untuk ni. So kepada viewer di luar sana, kalau saya tadi nampak ada soalan daripada dalam komen dan Facebook, sebagai selingan sekejap lah ada audience yang bertanya berkenaan dengan, dia tanya kepada Ustaz, apakah, I mean, how's your experience working in this field from a female perspective? What are your best experience and challenges? Maybe Ustaz boleh jawab tu sekejap sementara kita tunggu Amsha dia mencari jalan macam mana dia nak orang kata apa, share di screen untuk video dia.
Okay, as a female workers, okay. Actually, I don't think much difference between female workers and male workers here in this drone industry, because we're not working with heavy staff, we're not working with heavy duty here. And most importantly, I'm working with data mostly, so they are not much different with others. But the most interesting experience that I had experienced in this industry is that I able to explore new technology a new field. As we know, drone industry is a new thing. It's almost similar to I get to play with data. It's like almost similar to with data from aeroplanes. Uh, I think that one of the things that interesting. We get to play with UAV. We get to understand new industry, new technology that rarely people join this company.
Right.
Hopefully, this industry will be expanded.
Okay, to the viewers out there, kalau tengok memang sebenarnya kalau dalam drone industry itself, the field work normally dominated by male. So for example macam Zarul lah, Zarul dia selalu pergi on the field. So most of the time the male normally they go to the field to collect data lah. But behind the scene sebenarnya yang banyak yang proses data ni there are a lot of like women. Like macam OFO pun dengan MALVUS Sense banyak worker ataupun dia punya colleague yang adalah female yang bekerja untuk proses data lah. So they actually more station in their office to process the data. Syah, kalau tak dapat tak apa, kita boleh
Boleh tak? Boleh nampak?
tak nampak. Sekarang baru nampak sekejap Okay, sekarang baru nampak.
Alright. So basically ni the video you see in your screen is for the project in Pen Borneo, Sarawak. So back to the question Syafiq tanya, how can data be useful for site managers to leverage? So basically this is how we employ data lah. So we fly the drone every month and we capture the site continuously on a month-to-month basis, and we upload it in our platform so that our clients can make the progress update view. So imagine from any point of the entire construction phase progress, let's say it's 4 years, the construction site can already view the progress of the highway or the history, the dalam as long as they have internet access, they can view this anywhere, any given time. So another feature, data like feature that we can incorporate is to overlay construction drawing plan. So you can see how this can come into play, how it can be useful for project managers. So let's say 10 to 5 kilometers ada problem kan. So they can already anticipate it much earlier and avoid making such error. So with this, they can avoid in terms of time overrun, cost overrun, and also benefit in terms of higher productivity gains. So this translates to, let's say 2-3% ahead of schedule can translate to millions in cost savings to our clients. So that's precise how the data and information can actually facilitate better and more efficiency for our clients, whoever they are.
Right. It's a good input actually.
Example lah.
Sebenarnya I mean kepada viewers kat sana, viewers kat luar sana, the one that Amsha tunjuk tadi tu saya pernah tengok few times. Macam dia kata tadi, dia mention dia ada ambil data setiap bulan and then they compare dengan the recent data lah. So from there construction company boleh make decision on how well progress the construction is going lah. So that's from the construction side. Husna, so we go back to you. Bukan soalan tanya pasal pengalaman ataupun pasal tadi tu just ringan but how important is data, because you mentioned about LiDAR. So LiDAR is something pada viewer dekat sana, LiDAR adalah sensor yang menggunakan infrared, much more accurate compared to the normal camera. Accuracy dia adalah sangat tinggi. So mungkin Husna boleh bercerita sikit kenapa data daripada drone ni sangat penting lah.
Okay. I agree with what Hamsha said just now. We use the data from the drones.
Hello. Boleh.
I cannot see you guys. I'm sorry. What happened?
Dia
I'm sorry.
masa BKP ni dia banyak buat aksi.
Okay, can you see me?
Can.
Okay, right?
Boleh.
You guys, okay. Okay, let me continue. Okay, I believe that all data is important. That's why clients spend money for us to collect the data. So it's crucial to their own respective area for the respective field. So I agree with what Hamsha said just now. The data, we use that. One of the main outcome that we need is to keep update, to monitor from the previous data frame to the latest frame time. That's one of the outcome that we need.
Right.
Which is outcome for the mapping. And secondly, I believe that the outcome that most valuable from this data collection is for to do assessment of the project area. I believe there are many reasons why client want to do assessment for the project area. There might be one for the purpose of development. They want to understand what's the effect of the area if they develop. For example, we have worked with one company to develop a dam monitoring. So they want to see the effect if they build a dam, if the water flow, how it affect the surrounding, the tree, the forest, the people surround there. So they take the data. Mostly, okay, I will share you my screen. The most crucial data that I believe from the data acquisition from the drone is DSM, the digital elevation model, the data of elevation for the train. Okay. I believe this is a basic data that we produce for our clients. Photo, DSM, hill sheet, contour, and topographic map. So what we actually gather from data acquisition is the GIS output. That's the most crucial and the most valuable data from this exercise. And I would like to stress that DEM is the most important data and the most valuable data. So client will do assessment from the data. So that's how important is the data.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sama-sama. Sila.
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay.
That's to add to the.
Right. So Husna dia mention pasal DEM, digital. Digital. I mean, is it DSM or DTM just now?
I mentioned DEM, digital elevation value. We can separate that to DEM and DSM.
Alright. Sebabnya saya selalu dengar DSM, DTM. So this is actually my first time hearing about DEM. Right. So digital elevation model. So this is where that from MALVUS Sense point of view, data is very important because they are doing a lot on the slope monitoring. So DSM, DTM, DEM is very, very important to them and also to their client as well. So to make sure on the slope monitoring. Saya nak bergerak kepada Amsha. Kepada Zarul. So the question will be sebab tadi Husna ada mention pasal LiDAR, VTOL, and then so since you are more on the engineering part, the technical part, and you involve a lot more on the data collection side. So just now they are talking about the data itself. Now we are going to on the drone and also on the payload. So untuk viewer dekat luar sana, kalau nak tahu payload ni basically adalah benda ataupun benda yang di attach atau dipasang kepada drone tu lah. Dia boleh jadi dalam bentuk kamera atau dalam bentuk sensor dan ataupun kalau macam agriculture drone, dia punya payload dia adalah tangki yang untuk diisi dengan liquid, fertilizer ataupun pesticide. So the questions to Zarul will be how important, berapa penting the selection of the right drone and also on the payload when you go on the data collection.
Alright. So, saya terangkan mudah dulu dalam kaedah untuk buat mapping kita ataupun drones punya teknologi, kita ada pre-processing dan post-processing. So macam kita punya Nurul Husna bercerita tentang ialah di peringkat post processing, dan saya punya kerja kebanyakannya berlaku di pre-processing. Dan untuk payload yang kata drone yang nak digunakan bersama dengan payload, dia macam mana Cik Amsyah sebut tadi, drone ni hanyalah satu alat yang menerbangkan barang yang kita nak dia terbang lah, macam kamera ataupun pump ataupun lidar kan. Kepentingan dia pula, yes, kita kena buat pemilihan drone yang berkenaan, yang sesuai lah. Contoh macam lidar, dia punya unit dia besar, jadi drone yang nak digunakan kebiasaannya besar. Tapi kita kena tengok pula dia punya kerja dia macam mana. Adakah dia melibatkan tempat yang kecil? Kalau kecil dia tak perlulah terbang gunakan fixed wing yang terbang untuk 2 jam atau 3 jam. Untuk deploy dia pun dah satu masalah pasal dia besar. And then kalau kata nak buat mapping tempat yang luas, tak boleh lah pula pakai multicopter, pasal multicopter biasanya ada masalah dengan penerbangan yang sekejap, jangka tempoh terbang tu sekejap kan. Tak macam fixed wing. And then dia ada mention pasal VTOL. So VTOL ni adalah gabungan antara dua teknologi multicopter dan kapal terbang untuk memudahkan operator. Pasal bila kita terbangkan payload yang macam lidar ataupun professional camera buat mapping, payload ni lagi mahal lagi daripada drone yang terbang tu. Jadi ya, kita perlu gunakan drone yang sesuai lah untuk setiap apa tugasan yang diperlukan.
Alright, thank you for your input. Basically apa yang selama saya dalam industri ni, basically kita ada multi-rotor, kita ada fixed wing, and then macam Husna, dia ada VTOL. So all those kind of like drones serve their own purpose. Coming back to Amsyah. Amsyah nampak bosan di situ. Amsyah okay Amsyah? Right, Amsyah. The questions would be, even though just now you already mentioned about the importance of the data. You already talk a bit on how companies they are doing the project monitoring. Maybe can you explain a little bit more on since earlier you had mentioned pasal AI, augmented reality, because I totally agree with you. Drone adalah satu platform untuk user actually to collect data. It can be on different kind of like platform as well. But why people using drone? Because it can cover a lot more space compared to the conventional method. So tapi from the earlier our conversation just now, you mentioned about AI and also on the augmented reality. Perhaps maybe you want to elaborate more into that kind of like on the data side. Mungkin ada video ataupun result yang nak di-share dengan audience kita.
Right, so essentially the drone itself is just a flying object. The payload sensor is what it matters when it comes to the type of information or data that you acquire. But once the information has been gathered, the second pillar or the second step is to process the information. And after the processing part, where you stage calibrate the data, it comes to the analytical part, and that's where AI comes into play, because the drone itself is just the acquisition process. And when it comes to getting more insights or going deeper into the information decision making, this is where AI comes into play, where we want to automate the entire process. Instead of having human labor, we will have the machine to actually execute the function with much better accuracy lah. We would like to say 99.7% better accuracy. And also, in terms of, let's say, the final pillar, after the analytical part has been done, we want to present that data or data platform. So how do we manage the data? So we can use augmented reality, AR, if you are familiar with Pokemon Go. So augmented reality can be used to stitch 3D point cloud images of the site subject matter that has been captured by the data, and it can be used to present. So for clients, to present it to their stakeholders or their clients. So there are many forms of information impact technology that can be used. For example, I believe Husna in the agriculture side, she would deploy IoT for data gathering. And when we talk about Other forms, we can use big data in order for us to go through the information in much more deeper way. Tapi the 4 pillars, if I may recap, it begins for O4 lah kan. It begins with data acquisition, and then we go to data processing. The third is analytical part. That's where big data comes into play. AI comes into play for object detection, and also the final pillar is data presentation, where we use augmented reality or virtual reality, where we create a virtual environment of the information that we've captured using the drone. So in that sense, we can provide to clients end-to-end robust solution at all entire life cycle requirement that our clients have in need. So maybe, I'm sorry kalau too technical, need to describe in a more layman term tapi I try my best to describe in a easy way.
Right. So rasa kalau ada nampak ada, so kalau ni tunjuk video pasal AI tu, sebab saya pernah tengok OFO punya video yang pasal kata apa, detect pothole tu menggunakan AI. So rasa pakai drone and then juga ikut dengan AI, I mean it measure whether that is actually the actual pothole or not lah. So I've seen that. So perhaps siapa yang nak tahu lebih lanjut nanti mungkin boleh drop comment lah, nanti kita boleh share di mungkin Facebook dan sebagainya lah. Okay, so tapi itulah macam Syah mention tadi, data yang diguna pakai dalam drone yang di collect tu, dia bukan setakat limited tadi just kepada project monitoring, ada juga melibatkan AI dan augmented reality lah. So soalan kepada Husna sebelum saya bagi kepada Zarul. Apart from slope monitoring, just now Husna pun dia mention pasal pipeline monitoring. I mean, maybe you can share a bit about the pipeline monitoring dalam oil and gas ni. I mean, what does people in the oil and gas actually looking into pipeline? Dia nak tengok apa sebenarnya dekat pipeline ni. So sebab orang kebanyakan, I mean orang rakyat mahal macam saya, dia bila fikir oil and gas ni dia tak fikir sangat pasal pipeline ni. Tapi in the oil and gas industry, pipeline is actually one of the critical part they always normally observe every month. So Husna maybe boleh share a little bit on the pipeline monitoring.
Okay, pipeline monitoring. Actually, there are a few type of work that they request from us for the pipeline monitoring. We got to do LiDAR, which is the exact definition for LiDAR is light detection and warning, data acquisitions. We also do photogrammetry survey for them, and also patrolling. What they request from us is for patrolling, they try to detect if there are someone that's forced their order, if there are anything that's endanger the area. That's one of the reason for the patrollings. And besides that, we also work on pipeline monitoring for the mapping, because recently we know that there are explosions at the pipelines. So they want to know what happened and what is the current terrain after the explosions. So the data that we collect is crucial for them to make for them to understand the area and to make the next move for the pipelines. So we collect data acquisition and provide them GIS output for them too. So basically, as I mentioned previously, that's basically is for assessments, for the risk assessments. So we provide data analysis. What is the land movements? What is the carbon elevations? What can be done from that area in terms of geologists too. We also provide a geology service to that. So that is a few work that we work in with pipeline monitoring.
Right. So kalau saya nak summarise tadi pada viewer kat luar sana, untuk dengar Isma cerita pasal pipeline, land elevation dan sebagainya, nada mudah dia atau secara ringkas dia adalah bayangkan kita we have like one normal straight pipeline, a single kata apa movement daripada land tu sendiri dia boleh kata apa mengubah structure pipe tu, sama ada dia akan tenggelam ataupun dia kata apa berubah dan sebagainya. This is where that when the accident happen, it will cost millions lah. So normally oil and gas industry, they really taking care of it sebab dia nak make sure tak ada insiden yang dia tak boleh. I mean kalau dia buat regular monitoring, at least dia boleh take preventive measurement to avoid that kind of accident. So Zarul, mungkin pada Zarul mungkin last soalan sebelum saya wrap up kepada semua sekali. Since you involve a lot on the data collection, pergi on the field, ramai orang fikir sebenarnya macam fly drone pergi collect data ni macam seronok kan, keluar tapi orang kata apa, tak perlu duduk kat office, ada komputer dan sebagainya. But you are the real person on the ground. So maybe you can share a bit with the audience, what are the challenges, obstacle ataupun pengalaman lah masa collect data ni. What are the things that incident yang you experience from your past experience?
Okay, yang tu soalan yang menarik sebenarnya. Kalau saya nak terangkan insiden dulu, pasal tu paling best. Nyari boleh jatuh lereng bukit sebenarnya. Pasal kami masuk ladang kelapa sawit dan dia ada macam ada lereng bukit yang tinggi kan. Jadi kenderaan yang kami gunakan tu agak besar dan lebar. Dan laluan tu hanya ngam-ngam untuk kenderaan 4x4 tu lah. Jadi driver dengan orang duduk sebelah passenger kena communicate sangat bagus lah. Pasal beza dengan tepi lereng tu lebih kurang dalam 3 jari je. Menakutkan lah. So kalau nak menjawab balik seronok ke tidak pengalaman keluar bekerja collect data ni. Yang pertama sekali kita kena tahu kat mana location. And then kita kena tahu cuaca masa nak buat kerja. Lepas tu nak kena tahu pukul berapa yang kita kena keluar untuk ambil gambar ni ataupun ambil video ni. Pendek kata kerja kita dengan yang jadi land surveyor ni tak ada jauh beza. Sebab dua-dua bekerja kat tengah panas, hari buta. Dan kalau kena bekerja dalam hutan, kena masuk hutan. Jadi kena ada ciri-ciri do sikit lah kan. Kena ada seluar panjang, kena ada boot. Tak kisah kena gigit binatang. Tapi tak adalah kena gigit rimau kan. Tak pasal lah. So itu satu lah. And then tengok pula equipment apa yang kita bawa ke site. Kalau kita fly normal multicopter, kita boleh lah kata senang kerja, mana-mana tempat boleh terbang. Duduk tepi jalan pun kita boleh take off. Tapi kalau contoh kita bawa fixed wing, satu hal pula nak cari tempat yang ada tanah lapang, nak tengok angin datang arah mana, nak landing daripada arah mana, ada satu keadaan lagi. Jadi untuk yang suka bekerja dekat luar, bukan dalam office dan nakkan cabaran, ni kerja dia lah. Sebab yang mana dia teknologi berjumpa dengan kerja membabitkan fizikal. Ini antara kerja yang anda boleh pilih lah. Okay. So, kalau siapa-siapa yang nak kurus cepat, tu marilah kita.
Kurus cepat Okay, saya pernah dengar insiden kata apa, kawan-kawan lah yang kata apa collect data ni dekat dalam hutan, drone siap kena sambar dengan helang. Ada kes yang tu lah?
Ada sebab ada satu keadaan macam bila kita pergi kat kawasan ni, kita kena tahu helang ni dia bersifat teritori. Jadi bila dia terbang, kapal terbang, kebiasaannya kapal terbang lah kan, pasal kapal terbang ni nampak macam burung kan. Jadi bila dia tengok kapal terbang tu ulang alik dia dah fikir dia ada burung baru kacau teritori dia. Betul-betul dia pergi datang tangkap kapal terbang tu. Tengoklah mana dia bawa. Kalau dia dapat tangkap betul, memang dia bawa lagi lah kapal terbang. Kalau tak dia jatuh lah. Pilih lah mana satu.
Okay, dia tak memilih lah mana-mana yang dia dapat lah.
Mana dapat.
Alright, so ada satu soalan kepada Amsyah daripada kita punya viewer. The question is, what is the challenges? What are the challenges on detecting pothole using drone remote sensing? What kind of data required? So mungkin tadi sebab Amsyah ada mention pasal gunakan AI untuk orang kata apa, untuk detect pothole. Orang kata apa, pakai drone collect data and then drone tu ikut dengan AI ataupun kamera tu ikut dengan AI, dia boleh help to detect pothole basically lah. So perhaps Amsyah wants to then saya ulang balik soalan dia adalah what is the challenge or what are the challenges on detecting pothole using drone remote sensing, and what kind of like data required for this kind of like work?
Detect apa? Detect pothole.
Untuk detect pothole using drone punya ni lah.
Well, remote sensing, as the name implies, it's remotely and sensing. So usually we're talking about topography, whether it's DSM, DTM. Tapi in terms of pothole itself, this is machine learning lah. The challenges is to actually teach the machine how to be able to detect what a pothole is. So in terms of pothole itself, there are degrees of severity, whether berapa dalam, berapa luas. So the immediate challenge is to have the AI understand what is a pothole, and then afterwards to detect the severity. And of course, we can increase the accuracy level much higher. So that would be pretty much where the challenges lie. Tapi once everything is in order already, it's just at the click of a button, it can already execute the function ongoing for a pothole. Tapi let's say a new form of defect, let's say rust or crack, itu kena ajar lagi. That's pretty much the challenges for all AI in terms of object detection. Give you an example, contohnya the CAPTCHA in Google kan, where you enter a website and they ask you to detect a car or a tree. Actually, what you are doing is you are teaching the computer to refine its algorithm to detect a car or a tree. It's not like it wants to make sure you're a computer or not. It's just that they are crowdsourcing the effort. So they're asking all the Google users to help their AI to refine the accuracy of their detection, ability to detect whatever it is that they want, the object, the subject matter. So in terms of pothole, then yes, then we have to go and scale up all the forms of pothole yang ada, and then we will have to teach the machine to detect what it actually is. So from henceforth, we can use a dash camera, we can use a drone, we can use whatever acquisition method for it to actually go and perform its function effectively. So that would be the challenges.
I hope that's answer the questions. Siapa user nama L Ang saya susah nak sebut ni. So in short maybe kalau saya nak summariskan kat sini, just now Amsyah mention about AI, machine learning. Basically machine dia tak sama dengan human. So saya quote daripada kawan saya, seorang pakar juga dalam drone industry ni. Nama dia, Allah saya tak ingat apa nama dia. Arif. Nama dia Arif Mazlan, saya tak ingat nama ayah dia. Machine learning dengan manusia, obviously manusia is the ultimate form. Basically kalau saya nak bagi analogi simple, manusia kalau dia tengok human, when they see something, for example like glass, maybe in this case pothole, sekali dia tengok dia tahu okay ini pothole. Dia tak perlu kata apa banyak data set untuk dia train dalam kepala dia, dalam otak dia untuk proses. Dia jumpa pothole besar ni pun kira pothole, jumpa pothole yang kecil ni pun dia tahu itu adalah pothole. But on the machine learning side, so before dia jadi AI, so basically kita kena teach, kita kena ajar komputer ni untuk dia recognize ini adalah pothole. So pothole ni kita kena letak data tu, orang kata apa, beratus beribu data, so that PC tu ataupun machine tu dia boleh recognize, okay besar ni pun pothole, besar ni pun pothole, and then kecil ni pun pothole, size macam ni, ukuran macam ni pun dia kira pothole. So there are a lot of like data need to be learned by the machine before they can start orang kata apa, generated their own AI on that lah. So I believe that's orang kata apa, that's the gist of it lah on the AI side. Basically untuk detect pothole. So before we end our session, sedar tak sedar dah 55 minit dekat sejam kita berdiskusi di sini for our discussion. So last word from Husna, since you are the orang kata apa, dalam bahasa Dalam bahasa Melayu dia bunga dalam, sekentum bunga dalam taman. Yang lain ni semua adalah kumbang. And then maybe dalam maybe what is your since tadi pun ada viewer yang tanya because of your you are woman in the industry, dalam drone industry, which she kind of like dominated by the male. What is your hope or vision in the drone tech, basically the future of the drone tech, maybe in Malaysia? So perhaps you can share what do you think that, what do you want to achieve lah basically? What do you like to see dalam drone tech dekat Malaysia ni?
Okay, that's really interesting question. I really look for this question actually. Okay, I'm going to answer this question generally, not as a woman, but as someone that joined this industry, aerial industry. Okay, what I'm looking forward for drone technology in Malaysia is I'm hoping Malaysia industry to keep update, to always keep update with the latest technology, and also trying to reduce the industrial gap internationally, because if we know that between us, Malaysia, and compared to other international countries, there are quite a big gap there actually in terms of the technology that we use in our in Malaysia industry. So I believe it's important for us, especially a private sector, to introduce to Malaysian clients the latest technology. We're doing that in MALVUS, for example, like we always try to explore and doing study on latest technology. Latest we working on magnetometer sensor, which is a sensor that we use to detect magnetism or magnetic properties. This is one of the sensor that we use for pipeline exposure, pipeline detection exposure. So I like if Malaysian industry, private sector, to keep learning, keep introduce new technology to Malaysian industry. And one of the way is to, I think it's important for us to have a technical partner internationally, so we can keep track of the technology that they have and keep learning from there. I believe that's one of the things that I kind of interested.
Alright, good summary there. So kita beralih kepada Amsyah. We go to Amsyah. What's your hope? What's your vision on the drone tech in Malaysia?
Well, same like Husna, I believe that there is a gap that needs to be filled, but not really at the end of the service providers. I believe that our service providers, they are on par with the cutting edge current levels in what the other competitors have to offer abroad. But I'm just more focusing on the clients itself. That there is a gap, their unwillingness to accept or embrace new technology unless it's translated to their bottom line and their profit. But other than that, yes, I hope that people would look into more the IR industry 4.0 punya technology, the affiliated drone, robotics, IoT, big data punya line. Once the client embraces this, then I believe that Malaysia has a very good chance to actually accelerate much faster and become a modern country in that regards. So that's where I would like the gap to be met halfway.
Alright. So I believe this is where that not only public education is important, but to educate the client about the importance of data collected by drone and the other related IR4 technology as well. Sebabnya dekat luar sana klien pun ada little bit orang kata apa skeptical about all this kind of like technology. Right. We go to Zarul. Zarul, apa harapan ataupun kau punya vision dalam drone di Malaysia?
Mencabar sebenarnya. Ada. Okay, sebab macam my hope, my vision, because macam ni, mudah dia kalau dia I'm attached to Asia Drone Technology. So basically, we are a body that teach people how to use the technology, drone technology, right? So for me, I'm looking at penglibatan orang-orang ataupun pelajar yang muda-muda ni buat habis belajar atau buat habis sekolah, terlibat dengan teknologi ni. Pasal macam orang-orang yang ada sebagai panelis kita hari ni, Nurul Husna, Amsha, mereka dah ada jauh di depan dengan teknologi drone. Diorang tahu apa yang diorang buat. Diorang adalah profesional dalam bidang. Saya nak orang-orang baru pula terlibat sama dalam apa usaha yang kami buat ni. Jadi pelibatan tentang teknologi drone tu, bersama-sama kita menerokai teknologi.
Okay. Satu saranan yang sangat bagus. So mengharapkan industri drone kita berkembang so that new talent pun boleh di-generate dan equip untuk industri. So saya nak ucapkan terima kasih banyak. I would like to say thank you very much to all the panelists, Amsha daripada OFO, Nurul Husna daripada MALVUS Sense dan Zarul sendiri daripada Asia Drone IoT Technologies. For spending your time, and thank you very much to the viewers as well. Sebenarnya kalau viewers tak stay tune pun, the way that we talking here pun tak deliver kepada audience di luar sana. So thank you very much to the audience, to the viewers. Stay tuned. InsyaAllah next week kita akan ada satu live session bersama dengan Zarul. Zarul akan dia akan buat live session pasal racing drone. Racing drone. So siapa yang nak tahu pasal racing drone ni, there's like another vertical of drone itself. So boleh stay tune dengan kita punya page next week. So to all the viewers out there,
Saya nak makan kapal terbang.
Kapal terbang Okay, so to all the viewers out there, thank you very much for your time. Stay tuned, stay safe, and have a good time over the PKP, over the MCO period. So that's all from our end. Thank you very much and see you again.